Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure presenting the story in front of you. I have been a teacher. I've been teaching in school since last 10 years, and writing poetry and doing storytelling is my passion, and I take pride in it. It's been 2 decades that I have been in England. I came when I was in my mid-20s. And I didn't know that I would get such connection with East End, even though I was staying in West Sussex. And now I feel that I have got passion roaming around the alleys of East London, exploring the flavor, finding about the people, and smelling all the curries, all the fishes, dry fishes. This is called shutki. And sometimes you can smell it in my coat. That's why I do something. I'm going to give you tips. So whenever you cook something, light a candle. It's not going to smell. Trust me. So what happened one evening, late evening, I was running across Whitechapel station, and suddenly, while going through the entry gate, the man stopped me and he handed me a holy book, asked me that whether I'm a Muslim or not. I said, I'm a Muslim. And I said, can I have a copy? He said, oh, you're a Muslim, you don't need it. I said, is it an English one? He said, yes. So I said, can I have it? So he handed it over to me. So I got into the train and I was sitting. Usually people do go through their phone, scroll around, but I wasn't scrolling. I don't do that. I usually watch people. And that day, since I had that cute booklet, it really looked cute. So I was flipping through the pages. And suddenly my eye got stuck somewhere. It's called King Solomon and the Ant. So I was wondering that, oh, there is a story about ant in Quran, which I didn't know. And it's called An-Namal. And as I was going through the pages, it really amused me. Reason, because there was a thing King Solomon did, though it might look very insignificant, but to that insignificant thing, Solomon showed greatest kindness. So let's come to the story now. So what happened? One day, King Solomon, who had the kingdom full of wealth, and he himself had lots of wisdom and knowledge, and under him had a vast kingdom, which not only comprised of humans, he had spiritual being called jinn, animals and birds. So he was marching with his army, marching through the valley of ants. And what happened as he was marching through the valley of ants, there was a arrays of ants coming, and there was Queen Ant. So Queen Ant looked at the armies of Solomon and said, oh. And then he said to his colony, hey, ants, please quickly go to your homes. Solomon's army is marching and they're going to crush us unknowingly. And the other one said, crush us unknowingly? Yes, the queen ant said, crush you unknowingly, because do you expect his army, soldiers to march looking down on the floor? So they said, okay, so we are going to hurry. So they hurried to their homes. And Solomon, given the wisdom, the miraculous gift of understanding the language of the birds and animals, he was very amused by listening what the ant said. He felt not only amused, he felt very humble that God has gifted him with the knowledge of understanding the language, the voice, not only of the humans, not only of the jinns, but also of the animals. But more than realizing or understanding the power of a humbleness, he felt a kindness in his heart, understanding that the ants could understand that he and his army are not going to harm them intentionally. Unintentionally and unknowingly, they might get crushed. So that made Solomon feel more humble. And he realized, with his leadership, with his great fortune, comes the responsibility of not looking after the important and significant things, also looking after the insignificant things. And that's how he felt that, with kindness, with the wisdom of his kindness, he is able to rule everybody. So that story really stuck me. It gave me a sense, and I felt that I, being a teacher, I always thought about achieving, my goal. Okay, my class, my student has to meet this expectation. And that day, I realized that as a teacher, as being the guardian, it's my duty to look after my student, to be mindful of my student. Why? Because I have a student who is suffering. Though they look fine, they have a neurodiversity. Some of the students may be dyslexic. Some of the students may have ADHD. Some of them come from a home which they cannot call a home because not all the homes are safe. Some of the students doesn't have a parent. And then I realized that, I need to be more mindful, more kinder towards understanding their needs, understanding their little hearts, and understanding their little minds. And from that day, I made a promise to myself that this act of kindness I will practice no matter where I go. And since I always think about the student, so I wrote a poem for them on behalf of them, understanding their core values, understanding that what holds them of not able to do something when they feel scared, why do they feel scared, and how their heart trembles. So I would like to read my story, actually poem. So it goes like that. It's dedicated to all my students who has got ADHD, dyslexia, and emotional dysregulation. Hey, instead of lecturing me and bossing me around, how about hearing about what I actually want for a change? I wish to become an illustrator, but teacher makes me calculate the perimeter of a rectangular room without a rooftop. And trust me, I find that quite silly. I rather scribble a story of two aliens from different space falling in love while touring Tower Bridge. The school says I'm wild, I'm too much, and I never slow down. But they don't see something. They don't see something else. The boredom. The boredom spills over. My bum starts to hurt. Sitting down feels like forever. I wriggle like a caterpillar, and they tell me to stop doing dilly-dally. And the teacher goes on the top of her voice, Hocus focus! Who is focus? That really makes my head spin. My teacher instructs me to remain still. I find it hard to regulate my little body, to regulate my little brain. Oh, I wish you all knew what it feels. It feels to live in a neurotypical world where everyone wants everything to be wrinkle-free. I wish you feel how my little body feels with a differently able brain. Thank you so much.